Hi everyone, this is Leona from Leona's Designs. Just wanted to show you this project I've been working on. I was making some little Easter gifts for my neighbors, and I'm going to put a few little Easter treats in them. They're little decorated margarine containers that I've Mod Podged napkins onto. And they start out looking like this. And I have quite a few of these because I always save them to figure out, a project to do with them. I hate to throw them away. They're nice containers, and you can put food stuff or baked treats in them. So I decided to decorate up a few to give as Easter treat gifts tomorrow. And I'll kind of show you, I'll try to show you step by step how I've done it. First of all, I covered the outside with gesso. I have tried to remove all this advertising on the outside, different ways that people said you could do that, but it just didn't work very good for me. It was very time consuming. So I decided first I would paint over the outside with gesso, and then after that dried, I would paint over it again with white paint, white acrylic paint, to hide all the writing. And it's worked very well. So I'm going to start on the outside right now with this gesso, just giving it a quick cover, just one coat, which kind of helps the paint adhere and give it more of a cover up. And these are easy to paint because you can hang on to them and not really get your hands too full of paint. However, I usually do get some on me. Oops. And it does take a little bit of time for the gesso to dry. You can just air dry it or use a heat gun or a hair dryer if you don't want to wait. So that's pretty much what I did for the gesso. If you don't have gesso or don't know what it is, it's I got mine basic acrylic gesso, and I got mine at our local art shop. It's made by Liquitex, but there are other brands also. And it comes in white or black. And you can dye it with some acrylic paint if you want to add acrylic paint to it to make it a different color. So I'm going to let this one dry and show you one that I previously painted with the gesso. And then right here's the top. So as you can see, it doesn't cover all the writing and the advertising. So here is one that I recently covered with the white acrylic paint. And so this is really ideal because then you can put your napkin on there and all that writing and advertising doesn't show through. So I'm going to paint one of these with the white acrylic paint now. This is the one I gessoed, it's dry. I'll just give it a coat of white acrylic paint. And when I get all the acrylic paint on there, I just start laying my napkin down. Even before the paint is dry, I try to put the napkin on and get it all in place. And then after it dries a little bit, I go over the top of it with some homemade Mod Podge, which is just Elmer's all-purpose glue mixed with some water. Or you can use Mod Podge if you have it. Works both ways. This covers very well, and you can start laying down your napkin. These are still kind of wet, so I'll wait for those tops, the lids. Excuse me. I have some napkins here that I've already separated. And so I think I'm going to use these pretty bird ones with maybe some of this pink. What I'm going to do is just tear pieces and stick it on while the paint's still wet. I guess I better put it right side up. And try to get all the air bubbles out. It's going to have some wrinkles, but that just gives it a nice texture, I think. But you need to try to get the air bubbles out as much as you can. And be careful because you don't want to tear the napkin. And these parts that are sticking up, you can always trim them down when the napkin is dry. Keep trying to turn the bird upside down. So it goes along pretty quickly. That wet paint holds it, and then just go back over it with the white glue. And after you get the sides covered, you can work on the bottom. So that's basically the sides. And then when you go back over it with the glue, these will just mold right down. And then you can just stick this to the bottom and then fill it in when you start working with your glue. And this is my glue. It's Elmer's glue mixed with water. I keep it in this big jar. You want it so that it's not real thick. It's thinned out with the water, but not too thin. So basically, I just want to show you that you can go over this, and these edges just mold right down into the other napkin. And it's best if, it looks best, I think, if you tear the napkins and glue them together, because they just blend in together better when they're torn, when the edges are torn, rather than cut. So that's kind of what it's looking like right now. And I will go back and finish this later. But I want to show you the top then. Is what I was going to do with the top. I had this napkin that was just covered with this Hello Spring, and I was able to tear it into 6 parts and put it on all the lids. And so I did that after I used the gesso and the white acrylic paint. I just tore out that Hello Spring and glued it down there, and these are the edges now that dried, and I'm just going to go and just tear them off easily after they're dry. Maybe I might even use my little craft knife here to cut them down, just to make it look neat. And that's it. I'm going to, I'm making 6 of these to give to my neighbors. I'm putting in a little piece of cinnamon cake and a couple little Easter treats and a colored Easter egg. And I'm going to put them in these little cellophane bags that I got at Dollar Tree. Twist tie the top, and it makes a cute little Easter gift. So I hope this gives you some inspiration on what you might be able to do with your empty margarine containers and gesso and white acrylic paint and some paper napkins. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, there will be more to come. So subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to receive notifications. Thank you. Have a great day and happy Easter.